This is Your Life, and here at the Embassy Club in Manchester, a good time is being had by all, and in a moment I shall be joining that fun. So why do I feel like a kamikaze pilot? Well, perhaps it's because the bloke I'm after has a reputation for shooting people down in flames, and as soon as I get inside there, I shall be in his line of fire.
Look after yourselves and see you again at the Embassy.
Right, anything for a laugh.
Thank you, good night. God bless. Take care. Take care, everybody. Thank you, my friends, thank you. I usually get a standing ovation, but never mind. Seeing as you're all midgets, I can't see it. Cheerio, everyone. Thank you. Right. We're gonna have some disco now. We're gonna have some disco. Quiet, please. Sit down, please. Standing ovation, that's the first one I've ever done. Sit down, please.
I never thought that we'd actually get to do a double act like this, but I'm delighted to share a stage for a moment to say, Bernard Manning, indeed, this is your life.
Thank you. For once in my life, I'm speechless.
That means I don't have to cut it out. We're going to do the show at the Granada Studios just down the road. So
Okay.
Would you like to step this way?
Certainly, sir.
Thank you very much.
Hey, what a shot. What a shot. All right. What a misbeliever over there, Freddie. Oh, what a shot, music. What a shot, eh? And I've been so surprised in my life. I thought they'd never catch me, I'll tell you.
Well, the Embassy customers seemed pleased as well, didn't they?
Yes, yes.
And you got your first laughs from this audience here, your brothers and sisters, and your mother, Nellie, still laughing at the age of 90, though not at the same jokes. The Embassy Club was very much a family business when it was first opened by your late father, John, more than 30 years ago. All of you worked there, and Nellie, you ran the cash register.
Yes. 28 years I was there. And the cash too.
What was it Bernard used to say to you?
Well, he used to say, now listen, Mother, if the lights go off, just fling your body over the till. Just fling your body over the till. Thinking about the money, not me. Thinking about the money.
Well, Bernard Manning, this is your life, and it's more than 20 years since you first wisecracked your way onto the nation's television screens. You're in the company of more fast-talking funny men in The Comedians.
The fellow went to the doctor. He says, well, I've examined you. He said, I can't find nothing wrong with you. He says, you must have Alice. He said, what's that? He said, I don't know, but Christopher Robin went down with it.
Like Maggie Murphy went to the doctor. She said, I've forgotten to take my contradictive pills. He says, you're ignorant. She says, yeah, 3 months.
I've had a terrible long spell on the dole. I've been knocking on the door. They sent me a ticket for the staff dance.
I went mountain climbing in Holland.
My mate, this fella, he went up to this officer on the ship and said, excuse me, he said, could you tell me where the nearest toilet is? And this officer said, port side. He said, there's no chance of you stopping at Gibraltar.
Listen, Sealing today's paper. Woman, deaf in left ear, wearing hearing aid, would like to meet man, deaf in right ear, also wearing hearing aid. Object, stereo.
He would love to be 3 eyes, no arms, 1 leg. I said, aye. You look harmless, hop in.
And I can tell you quite seriously that they are all here. Jim Bowen. Mick Miller.
How are you, Jim?
Hi, my friend.
Dougie Brown.
Lovely to see you.
And Charlie Williams.
Nice to see you. Charlie, there he is. How are you, Charlie? Nice to see you. Lovely. Oh, dear. Nice to see you, boy. Nice to see you. You know, these lads always wanted to be in show business, never quite made it. Lovely to see you. Looks like the domino treble up there. There's photographs all over Stratford and Avon of you. Lovely to see you, lads.
Well, I think we've got time for this next bit. Jim, how would you sum up Manning the Man?
All I can say about Bernard is Bernard has done for family entertainment what I've done for game shows. And what I must finally add, of all of us who came out of the Hamp stable in those happy years, early 70s, you were the best value of all of us.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I always, as a kid, watched Bernard on the Phil Silver show, you know.
Dougie.
Yes, well, what can I tell you about Bernard, man? He hasn't already told you himself. Do you know, seriously though, Bernard, we do admire you so much. The only person we admire more than you is a chap who's going to bleep out all the foul language from this show.
All right. Well done, mate. Thank you very much, my friend. Come on, Charlie.
Charlie, yeah.
Bernard, I'm so proud to say this. We'd love you for Christmas. We usually have a turkey. We'll have you with some chips, peas, and a few onions.
Thank you, Charlie.
All the very best, my flower.
And the same to you, mate.
Thank you, comedians.
God bless you.
You may have missed the velvet tones of one or two other comedians, but we couldn't stop them getting a word in. Busy at his B&B in EastEnders, Mike Reed.
Hiya, Bernie. Very nice evening for you. I'm pleased for you. I'd like to be with you, but I'm busy this end of the motorway. I've got a lot of respect for you on two counts, mainly. One, you say what you feel, please or offend. And normally it's offend, but you do say what you feel. And that's a phenomenon in this business nowadays. And number two, you're a great comic. Timing second to none. Give me love to your mum and your family. You have a good night, my old son. And God bless you. See you soon.
Thank you.
And who can this be?
Yes, it's the Archangel of Comedy himself. Here in probably what is the oldest cemetery in Great Britain. And just along here's the man who invented the crossword. The exact location, 6 down and 4 across. Yes, Bernard, I'm here to put a bunch of flowers on your act. Frank Harson, news at 10, soaked to the skin.
Thank you. Now, Fred Summers, former Variety Club chairman here in Manchester, how do you rate Bernard?
Well, when Variety Club needed a sunshine coach for handicapped children, Bernard put his hand in his pocket and he bought one. Just one of the many things that he does for Variety Club. And it's no wonder he received the Silver Heart Award, which is the biggest. Lovely man. Richly deserved, Bernard. God bless.
Thanks, Fred. Thank you very much.
Well, Bernard Manning, this is your life. And you were born right here in Manchester in Ancoats Lane, where your father was a greengrocer on August the 13th, 1930. There is baby Bernard with his mum, plus fruit and veg. You go to Mount Carmel School. Saturday mornings see you at the Empire Cinema. Now, Frank, who are your favourites?
A comedy series about a group of Jack the lads called Our Gang. And Bernard was so impressed that Bernard being Bernard, he decided to have his own, and he called them the Raggy Arse Gang.
And Jackie was a keen footballer as well.
He was indeed, we both were, and we both played for the school football team. But unfortunately, we only had one pair of football boots, so he and I used to share them. So he was on the left wing and I was on the right.
Eddie Flanagan would love that gag, wouldn't he? God rest his soul, poor Eddie. You look a bit like him now, Jim.
Well, you take both boots with you when, at the age of 9, you become a wartime evacuee. You and your sister, Alma, wave farewell to Blakely, and you were put on a train to where, Alma?
To Bacup, Michael. It's about 4 miles up the road.
Quite a wrench.
Yeah.
So, how did you cope?
Well, I was only 7 and I was very, very homesick. So one morning, Bernard decided he was taking me home. So we followed the railway lines. We'd walked about half a mile and the local butcher picked us up in his van and took us home to Mum. Needless to say, we never returned to Bacup.
Well, you leave school at 14 and start work as a porter at a local cigarette factory. Your gagging and singing sees you voted personality #1 in the Works magazine. So you decided to try your luck as an entertainer in pubs and clubs and then singing with local dance hall bands. Do you remember how you were billed?
Bernard Manning, Britain's newest singing thrill.
Oh.
I think so.
It's got here, Manning with the choice voice.
Yes. Used to call me that as well.
Oh. Anyway, you have no choice when you're called up for national service in the Manchester Regiment. Basic training includes a bayonet charge.
Manning, this time come at me as though you really mean it.
And he lived to tell the tale, your platoon sergeant 40 years ago, Sam Rocky Allport.
Rocky, I've not seen him since... How are you, Rocky? Oh. Hey, how are you, Rocky? Hey, I'm telling you... You had more bloody teeth in them days, didn't you?
Tell us the story then.
Well, you know, I joined the Company Airborne, I joined the Manchester Regiment, joined Manchester, and the first part of 40 guys, and the second row, Bernard Manning.
That's right.
Where do you come from? Where do you come from? Manchester. Right, bayonet training. Remember the bayonet? Pick the bayonet, come at me as though you mean it. You did. Right in there.
Oh, I stuck you all right, didn't
Right in there. And I went down, and you shouted, Sergeant, I've killed you. Half an hour's back with you again.
I thought I'd killed you.
You didn't do the lads a favour, you didn't do them a favour.
I thought I'd killed him. Honestly.
Go and come in, Jack. And I went.
Hey, thank you.
Oh, real estate. You was a good morale buster with the regiment.
Thank you very much, Sergeant.
I placed you in my platoon.
Thank you.
And I was about to get a career up your own.
Thank you. Only hope I'm going away in June.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Albert. Hey, what a nice guy.
You sounded like a ventriloquist for a moment. You were posted to Berlin, first as a guard at Spandau prison, but soon escaped to more congenial work. You become the singer with the regimental dance band. Back in City Street, you join the Oscar Arabian Band at London's Lyceum Ballroom, and a year later you get your first chance to broadcast. What happened?
The King died, all the broadcasting stopped, and they started playing miserable music, and that was the end of my singing career. It's true that. The King died, I'll never forgive him. You know the feeling, don't you, Charlie?
Well, you head back home to become resident compere at Manchester's Northern Sporting Club. You meet your late wife, Vera. You married in 1956. Baby Bernard was born 4 years later, and you were happy together for 30 years. To begin with, you didn't give up your day job as manager of the local co-op. 1959, and your father decides to borrow the money and take the chance by opening the doors of the former local Temperance Billiard Hall as the Embassy Club. It's your cue for success as compere and singer. Another singer you booked would like a word, and that is Vince Hill.
Hello, Bernard. They finally caught up with you, eh? So now I well remember the time back in the 60s when Edelweiss was storming up the charts and I was working at your club, the Embassy. And I got an opportunity to work with Jack Benny Sunday night at the Palladium. Wonderful break for me. I came up to you and I said, Bernard, you've got to give me Sunday night off. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I mean, Sunday night at the Palladium with Jack Benny. Right, you said, all right, you can have it off, but it'll be pro rata, I'm telling you, bloody pro rata. You were so nice about it. As only you can be, Bernard. And that was a long time ago, wasn't it? Cheers, mate. Have a good one.
Thank you, Vince Hill. And keep your eyes in that direction, Bernard, because two more former Embassy Club veterans recall those days, little and large.
Hi, Bernard.
Hi, Bernard.
We've asked her to come on and say a few nice things about you.
Yeah, because you've said a few things about us, haven't you, over the years?
Especially me.
Yeah. You used to say, Sid Little, he looks as if he's doing an advert for embalming fluid. No. That Eddie Large is about as useful as handbrake on a canoe. But we've got a lot to thank you for, Bernard.
We certainly have. You gave us our first full week's work back in 1963.
£50 a week you paid us. 21 shows. And he gave us a lot of work, didn't he, over the years?
Oh, we did.
Too much. In fact, I remember you booked us for a Christmas week one. 21 shows again. Embassy played him in Wilton Club every night. £50. And we thought, with it being Christmas, maybe we should get a little bit more. So I remember phoning you up and I said, Bernard, with it being Christmas week, you know, I mean, can we talk about the money? And you said, listen, son, if you think I'm going to drop your money because you want to be home for Christmas, you're mistaken. Have a nice night, Bernard.
Thanks very much, boys.
Cheers.
Lovely. Good out.
Thank you, little and large. Another double act who first started hitting the target with you have just dashed over from Blackpool. Cannon and Ball.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Come. Lovely.
Yeah. So you two get rocked on at the Embassy Club with...
Yeah, with Bernard we did, yeah, when Bernard used to stand in his little corridor with his hand on the wall like that.
Nicking all the gags.
Nicking everybody's gags as he went through, and so he did an hour and paralysed them. And as he were coming off, we passed him, he said, follow that, you two.
So we went on and we did our spot and we came off and we thought we did very well because we were very nervous, me and Tommy there, and the king stood there nicking the gags and we said to Bernard, how did we do, Bernard? He said, you were crap.
But it's a privilege and a pleasure to be here tonight with Bernard. He's one of the best. He's fantastic.
One of our heroes, Bernard.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cannon and Ball. Well, as we heard earlier, as a comedian, you're a frustrated Manchester City star. One night at your club, you tell the customers...
Quiet, the King's here.
And he's here too, with two Manchester City equerries. It's Malcolm Allison with Mike Summerby and Francis Lee.
How are you, Malcolm? Lovely to see you, Malcolm. Mike Summerby. Hey. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
You never did give me a winner, did you? Didn't he ever give me a winner? One the other day. Lovely to see you, boys.
So, Malcolm, he was looking for a place on the team, was he?
You have to be careful with Bernard. He's too short. Behave yourself.
You know what we're doing now? Putting the numbers on the front of the shirt so they look as though they're attacking. Hey. Oh, dear me.
I never really knew he was a Manchester City supporter. So Nobby Stiles walked in one night and he said, "Where's your guide dog, Nobby?"
Nice to see you anyway, boys.
Is that your tribute with them? Thank you very much.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you, Malcolm and Mike Summerby and Francis Lee. Now, three heroes of yours there, Bernard, but to a young comic, you have been a hero since he first saw you.
Yeah, and I ain't got over it yet.
It is Jim Davidson.
Oh. How are you, Jim? Nice to see you.
Good, isn't it?
Lovely. Very good.
Hello, Michael.
Hi, Jim.
Hiya.
So you're obviously a real fan.
Yeah, I am, because not just because of the comedy, we all know how funny Bernard is, but he's one of these blokes that does so much for charity and don't go shouting about it. You know, I like that. That's charity because of charity, not for publicity, and we all know that about you, Bernard. I know you like to keep it all quiet. The other thing, I'd just like to say, with the lads were talking, and I'd say that not only is Bernard the best stand-up comic Britain's got, I think he's the best stand-up comic Britain has ever had, and I mean that sincerely. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim Davidson.
Good luck.
Thank you. I say, you know you just bought there night now, don't you? Look at that. That Charlie Williams wish he had a blowpipe now.
We're talking of young performers here making his TV debut, the latest Manning, with his mum Julie, your 2-year-old grandson Ben.
Oh, now there you are. Come on, Ben. Hello, Julie. Oh, hello. Hello, Miss Sweetie Pie. Hello, Julie. Come over here. Hey, straight to the people. Straight to everybody. There's all them tuppence halfpenny comics over there. Hey. Oh. You're more shocked than me, aren't you, son? Hey? All right, don't worry about it. Look after him. Oh, I love him. Hey. Hey. See ya.
I expect you'll remember this night. Now, 20 years ago, a surprise visitor to your club changed the course of your life.
Right, Bernard, I don't want any rude jokes. Now, that's just a suggestion, but remember who made it.
Yes, producer of The Comedians, Johnny Hamp.
There we go. That's the man that started it all. God bless you, John, for coming. What a wonderful man.
Hey. So, Johnny, you took the risk.
Well, it wasn't much of a risk, really, except that they're all unknown comics at the time. But
Exactly.
Within a year, we had a #1 telly show. We had 5.5 months at the London Palladium, where Bernard met the Queen on a Royal Gala performance.
Yes, she met me.
And she seems quite amused, as we see here. Now, Johnny, you made several television specials with Bernard. For example,
What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blow
Same bow tie and all that.
and did it
Tied the coat. Hey, what a singer. Granddad. Hey, how's your granddad?
now one of the specials was called Mr. Nice Guy. And you think that's a fair description?
Yes, as Jim said, Bernard does so much for charity. It's another side that other people don't seem to know about. In fact, every Thursday night is charity night at the Embassy Club. And recently we got all the boys together for a 20th anniversary union party, which we videoed. And my daughter was blinded at a school accident some time ago, and we decided to donate all that money we raised for the Guide Dogs for the Blind. And we made a video of that, and that's now in the shops.
It's a good one and all, isn't it?
Yeah, and
Very
Bernard's,
good.
it's an excellent
Very
one.
funny.
And Bernard and the boys are going to come along and present a cheque for £15,000 we've raised so far. You're going to come along, aren't you, Bernard?
Certainly.
It's only a suggestion.
Remember who made it. Thank you very much. Bernard Manning, this is your life. This is your life. This is Wembley Arena, and in there is a rock star who's been dazzling the customers for more than 30 years. He's had his highs, in more ways than one, and his lows. But in the survival stakes, he's a leader. In fact, he's the leader. His Christmas concert is just coming to its climax, and I'm going to be part of it.
Yeah!
What a great night. 1992.
You make it look so easy. I was just...
Listen, Michael, they are my life.
I haven't said the magic words yet.
I know what you're here for.
Ladies and gentlemen, we were just passing by. We couldn't resist to pop in and say the magic words. Tonight, Gary Glitter, this is your life. Lead me away. Back to our studio.
You know, once, Michael, for once I'm speechless.
Well, I'll do it then. Shall I?
Oh, yeah, I think you better. Carry on.
Thank you very much to your manager, Jeff Hanlon, for fixing all that. And here to meet you, as you've seen, all your old friends and family, including your mother, Rita,
Hello,
and your brothers, David and Tony. Now, Rita, Gary was belting out rock and roll around the house when he was still at school, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What was your reaction?
I said that to him, I wish you'd stop making that awful row.
And with that encouragement, you went professional at 14. You were playing Paul Gadd then, well, perhaps not playing, becoming Gary Glitter 20 years ago. Here's a burst of Glittermania. Rita, that was your little boy there. Well, Gary Glitter, this is your life. It wasn't such a glittering start. Born on May the 8th, 1944, at Banbury in Oxfordshire, you never knew your father. Your mother's name, the family name, is Gadd, and you are christened Paul Gadd. You're brought up above your grandmother's tea shop, where your mother worked as a waitress. At the end of the war, a member of the family returns home after 6 years in a Japanese POW camp.
Uncle John.
Come on, you maidens.
He's got the sweetest voice.
Yes, he became your father figure, your Uncle John.
This is the name of the street, my friend. The name of the street.
John, how did you come to learn rhythm and blues guitar?
I was a prisoner of war in Japan, and with a lot of Americans, and so I picked up a lot of their music, the country music and blues music, etc., which I brought back home with me, and sang around the pubs and clubs. And then he bought his own guitar. After that, it was every day in front of the mirror, giving it the old Elvis.
With a
giving the Elvis.
Tennis racket.
What about the Elvis? You remember? One for the money? Give us one.
Well, it's a 1 for the money, 2 for the money, 3 for the money, 4 for the money.
Well, that dream is shattered by harsh reality. Your mother can't afford to keep the family together, and you are put into care at the age of 12. A year later, you rejoin her in a flat in London. You're 14 when you start your first group. And they were called?
Oh, the first group was called the Rebels. Paul Russell and the Rebels.
And true to their names, they rebelled and the group split up. 1961 sees you so broke, you're kicked out of your digs. You're just 21 and ready for takeoff on a television pop show. It doesn't give you your big break on screen, but it does off, as presenter Kathy McGowan recalls.
Hello, Paul. This is a bit of a surprise, isn't it? I call you Paul because I just can't call you Gary Glitter, I'm afraid. Anyway, the thing I remember most about you is at rehearsals, when you used to stand in for the stars, when they were doing the sort of camera angles and things like that to get it right. And you didn't used to just stand there, you used to give a performance so that everyone clapped you. And the managers of the stars used to get absolutely furious because you were far better than the actual performers half the time.
Thank you.
I'll see you very soon, and Happy New Year and lots of love.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy McGowan. Now, Gary, we have located a rare piece of film showing you in action getting the Ready, Steady, Go audience in the mood.
Oh, yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that match. I've never seen that piece
So
of
that was
film.
you. I've often wondered. That was you. Well, you stayed tuned as a performer by singing with the Rhythm and Blues Band in South London pubs. A fan who never missed those gigs 30 years ago went on to become a star himself, David Essex.
Oh, David.
Hello, Gary. I'm in Darkest Battersea, rehearsing a Christmas musical for the Alhambra in Bradford. You've always struck me as a very warm and honest person, and a performer of great depth. Not really an introvert, but where would we be without Gary Glitter, our leader? Have a great night.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, David Essex. Now, in 1964, you get married, but almost immediately head for Germany, where rock and roll mania is raging. You're there for 4 years. Your marriage doesn't survive, and you're lucky to survive yourself, because Gene Vincent got a bit cross with you one night, didn't he?
Oh, didn't he? Didn't he?
What happened?
Well, he thought I was actually messing around with one of his ladies, and in fact, it wasn't that night. I had been a couple of nights before. But he came back rather late one night to the hotel, and the next thing I know, there's bullets flying past me, and he'd actually shot me. I mean, he missed, thankfully, and I don't know how that happened, really, but there we are.
Well, not surprisingly, like a speeding bullet, you head back to England. You renew a friendship from Ready, Steady, Go days with one of Britain's most successful record producers. Well, you co-wrote that hit with him. It's Mike Leander. That was an award winner, that number, wasn't it?
Yes, we won an Ivan Novello award. And so we put the record out as Rock and Roll Parts 1 and Parts 2. Now, what you don't know is that I have Part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm going to release them all the next time you retire.
Mike, it's great to see you. How's it going?
Not only that, but Mike was a member of your group, the Mike Leander Singers.
This is indeed, yeah. We had a very unlikely combination. We had Gary, who couldn't read, and one other person who couldn't actually sing a note.
Well, as it turned out, that person didn't need to sing. He writes the songs for others, and tonight he's in Paris. Tim Rice.
Gary, I well remember when we were recording Jesus Christ Superstar back in 1970.
Yeah.
And you weren't even Gary Glitter then, you were Paul Raven. And everybody was given the choice of a royalty or a fee. Most people, because we were unknown, chose a fee. And you chose a fee. And you got 100 quid for your part on Jesus Christ Superstar. And had you had a royalty, you would have made thousands of pounds. And I've been thinking about this, I've been worrying about it, and I reckon you were overpaid.
Thank you, Tim Rice. Yes, you're among friends tonight. Now, one of radio's top DJs becomes a great fan of Gary Glitter. He's there when you decide to sink your rock and roll past in a coffin in the Thames.
Oh,
and guess what, Gazza? That's
Alan Freeman.
Waving the incense.
Yes,
burner.
it's Alan Fluff Freeman. Committal to the Deep. What was that about?
Well, I mean, he'd been Paul Raven, he'd been Paul London, he'd been Paul everything. And when he was Gary Glitter, Mike, he decided that he wanted to get rid of all this. So we had a party on the Thames, and we had a coffin, and we put all the paraphernalia from the past in it, and we heaved it over the side to watch it sink. But it didn't.
That's right.
It just floated on the Thames, and it got lost. We don't know what happened to it. But I've got to tell you, above all, this guy is still and will always be a great star, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan.
Well, rock brings you all the spoils, though Uncle John has to teach you how to drive. But in your book, Leader, you confess to being as thirsty as the car, though you were running on brandy and tequila to wash down the pills. In 1976, you pack it all in. But the Inland Revenue and others wanted their share of the days when all that glittered was gold. You're declared bankrupt. Now, in those earlier days, to furnish your house, you'd hired the set of BBC's The Duchess of Duke Street. That must have cost a few bob.
Well, I think it was about £2,000 a week. In those days, it was a lot of, still a lot of money. And I couldn't bear to give it back. So I kept it for a few months, you know. Do you remember that, Mum?
Yeah, the green settee. I remember green settee.
Well, we didn't have any carpets on the floor, did we? I mean, and it was all this beautiful. It was really weird because I had 10 bedrooms, you know, and the swimming pool was kept at, I don't know, about 60 degrees in the middle of winter. Open air swimming pool as well. I did spend a few quid.
Yes.
I'm very sorry about that. I am sorry about that. Now all the rock and rollers on stage and not off stage.
Well said, sir.
It's a really
Well,
nice place, isn't it?
Lovely place.
well, by 1983, you were back on tour. You're a smash hit in front of 29,000 people at Glasgow's Ibrox Park, where your fortunes were improving rapidly. But this is how you finally got out of the soup.
Well, music lovers, when you've made as many comebacks as Gary Glitter, isn't it nice to know you can always come back to the great taste of Heinz lentil soup?
Great stuff. And a repeat fee for Fluff as well. Now, fans old and new salute the leader back in front of his gang. We'll hear from just a few of them. Anita Dobson.
Oh, Anita.
Hi, Gary. Brian and I send you lots of love and many congratulations for this evening. And I hope the forthcoming tour is a huge success. I know it will be. We're going to try and be there at the Brighton Centre to see you. So till then, we shall raise our glasses to you, have fun, and rock on.
And Paul Young.
Now, when they told me that this was going to go on, I had a bit of a laugh to myself because, as everybody knows, you've had a very rich and varied career. You are one of life's great entertainers, and I've always admired great entertainers. Probably even nicked a few moves at one time or another. So, from one performer to another, I hope you have a great night.
And tonight at Piccadilly Radio Manchester, Noddy Holder.
Noddy!
Hiya, Gary. I'm sure you're having a fantastic time tonight. I don't know whether you remember when me and my band Slade first met you, but it was over in Germany in 1966, and we were always skint, and you showed us the cheapest place in town to eat, and we used to have a bowl of pea and ham soup every day. Every day for a fortnight we had that. Very antisocial. You're one of the greatest characters ever in the rock and roll business, and there ain't many of them about these days. I'm sure you'll go on forever and ever. So best of luck, Gary.
And from Los Angeles, Adam Ant.
Oh, Adam.
A rock and roll, a rock. Rock and roll, a rock and roll, a rock. Gary, I'm sorry I can't be with you this evening. I wish I could, because I would have loved to have seen the look on your face. I think that when I first heard your sound, it was the most original, innovative sound I'd heard. It just had such an impact on the nation, all that sparkle and that energy and style you've got, you always will have. You take care now, and my best wishes with you this evening. Take care. Bye.
Thank you very much. Well, Gary, your fans cut across all age groups and include Patricia Neal and the late Roald Dahl. You were introduced to them by their daughter, and she is here. Yeah. Tessa Dahl.
Tessa, my God. I'm sorry
I'm Tessa, were you impressed from the very beginning?
Oh, always greatly impressed.
Oh.
Gary actually came to live in my house when he was between jobs, and
yeah, but I was absolutely broke.
my sister Lucy turned it into quite a successful venture because she used to pack the train full of her adolescent school friends in school uniform, and they'd Skype school, and she'd bring them up to the house and charge them £5 a head to come and gaze at glitter. And the house actually turned into a sort of Gary Glitter fan club outpost, which you quite liked.
Tessa, you're wonderful.
Thank you, Tessa Dahl.
It's so good to see you.
Well, now, since the new bright-eyed Gary Glitter emerged, one of your great interests has been sailing.
And Gary, you saved my life, even when I lost the seat of my pants.
From Totnes in Devon, it is Gordon, London.
Gordon! How you doing?
Good to see you.
What a surprise. What a surprise.
Gordon, will you tell us what happened?
Well, Michael, to set you in the picture, we were mooring up our boat. Things didn't go very well. I started to lose grip of the boat, started to slide overboard, shouted to Mary to hold my trousers. There's nothing else to hold on to. I shot through those. When Gary pulled me up out of the water, I was in my short shirt. But he wasn't surprised about that either. Good to see you, my pretty.
Thank you, Gordon London. Thank you. Well, Gary, as you may have suspected by now, we are preparing another surprise back here. Let's rock and roll back the years to July the 15th, 1972, the place Melksham Village Hall in Wiltshire, the occasion your first live appearance with your first glitter band.
Where are they? The glitter band, where are they?
Well, some of the boys are back for you tonight.
Oh, son! Harley! You're my son! You're kidding me! Harley!
Listen, before you get carried away and do anything, Gary Glitter, this is your one.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much.
Be in my